Your wedding's too close to my birthday. Move it. My mom demanded. My wedding was planned a year ago. Her birthday's 3 weeks before. I said no. She didn't attend. Told everyone not to come. 47 people canceled. I posted photos anyway. Best day of my life. When they saw how happy we were, I don't know how I became this guy. The guy with a wedding walkout. The guy counting cancellations like a running total. I couldn't stop checking. The guy who ends up posting photos out of mixed feelings and relief at the same time. But I guess if you grow up in a family where everything has to orbit one person, eventually your big day becomes a scheduling conflict. My name is Simon Hayes. I'm a full-time influencer. I know. It means I'm always on DMs at 1 a.m. brand calls during dinner, editing at weird hours because the light was better at golden hour. And I'm a slave to the algorithm. I'm also the oldest kid in my family, which means I'm the default fixer, the planner, the peacemaker, the one who should understand. I'm not some perfect comes a man. I bite my nails when I'm stressed. I drink coffee like it's a personality trait. I refresh my analytics way too often, like numbers can tell me I'm safe, and I'm superstitious in dumb little ways. I knock on wood without thinking. I won't post big news on a Tuesday because Tuesday posts flop. And I wear the same beat-up black ring on my right hand for every major shoot because the one time I forgot it, a whole collab fell through. Coincidence? Sure. Am I changing? No. I've been with my fiancée, Rachel, for 3 years. She's the kind of person who closes cabinets like a normal human and doesn't keep 47 tabs open just in case. She has a real job with real hours. I love her for that stability, and I hate myself a little for how much I've depended on it. We planned our wedding for over a year. Not vibes, not maybe spring. I mean, contract signed, date locked, deposits paid, save the dates already on fridges. And then one random Tuesday, my mom called me while I was filming a stupid morning routine clip in my kitchen. I had a ring light on, my coffee was going cold, and Rachel was in the other room on a work call. I answered with my influencer voice on accident. Hey, Mom. She didn't even say hi. She said, your wedding is too close to my birthday. Move it. I actually laughed like a reflex, like my brain thought she was doing a bit. What? I said, my mom Linda. Sighed like I'd asked her to explain gravity. Simon, it's 3 weeks before my birthday. That's basically my birthday month. I'm not having my son's wedding overshadowing me. I stared at myself in my phone screen. The ring light made me look like I was about to cry for a thumbnail. Mom, I said slow. We planned this a year ago, and I'm telling you now, move it. I heard Rachel's voice muffled through the wall. Still on her call. Still living in reality. I lowered my voice. This isn't a thing. You know that, right? My mom's voice went sharper. Don't start. You always do this. You never think about me. There it was. The trigger, the familiar script. I could feel the old role trying to slide onto my shoulders like a heavy coat. I swallowed and said the first honest thing that popped into my head. No, just no. There was a pause. Not silence, more like a control tactic. Then my mom said very calmly, fine, have it without me. And she hung up. I stood there with my phone in my hand, my coffee sour on my tongue, the ring light buzzing faintly. Rachel walked out a minute later, eyebrows up. You look like you just got jumped. I tried to laugh again. It came out wrong. My mom says our wedding is too close to her birthday. I told her she wants us to move it. Rachel blinked twice. Her birthday is what, 3 weeks before. Rachel just stared at me. Then she said quietly, Simon, she's going to try to derail this. And I hate that Rachel was right. My mom has always treated her birthday like a national holiday. Not cake and dinner. More like week-long build-up required phone calls, required posts, required praise. When I was a kid, she'd literally say, it's my birthday month, so let's all be nice. Like, she was the boss of time, and I've spent most of my life making it work. I was the kid who remembered the candles, who ran to the store for balloons, who took pictures so she could post them and act like we were a perfect family. My younger sister, Megan, learned early that if you hype mom up, you get rewarded. My dad, Tom, learned early that if you go quiet, you survive. And I learned early that if you argue, you become the villain. So yeah, when I became an adult, I kept being the fixer. Even when my influencer thing started taking off, my mom acted like it was her accomplishment. Tell them I inspired you, she'd say. Or send me that brand's number. I have ideas. Or my personal favorite. You should fill my birthday party. That would be good content. Rachel saw it immediately. She didn't grow up in a manage the mood house. She grew up in a we talk like adults house. The first time my mom guilt me into driving 2 hours for a dinner and then criticized my appearance the whole time. Rachel just sat there like she was watching a documentary. When we got engaged, Rachel and I agreed on one thing fast. We wanted a wedding that felt like us. Not huge, not fancy in a fake way, just solid. Good food, good music, our friends, people who actually like us. We toured venues. We picked one. We picked a Saturday because people have jobs and flights and lives. We signed. We paid deposits. We booked a photographer Rachel loved because she hated the fake stiff wedding look. We booked catering that wasn't dry chicken. We did the whole spreadsheet thing like responsible adults. We sent save the dates. My mom responded with a thumbs up emoji. That should have been my warning sign because my mom doesn't do thumbs up unless she's saving her energy for a bigger move. After that first call, she started escalating in ways that were honestly impressive if it wasn't my life. She called me the next morning like nothing happened. So I looked at dates. She said, "You can move it to October. That gives everyone time." "Mom," I said, "we're not moving it." She did that thing where she pretends she can't hear the word. "Also, if you move it, you can do it at that vineyard your aunt likes. We already have a venue. You can lose the deposit. It's just money." That made me laugh again. Except this time it was bitter. Just money, right? Cool. Are you paying it? My mom's tone chilled. I shouldn't have to pay because I'm not the one being selfish. Rachel was sitting at the table across from me, silently drinking water and watching my face. She mouthed, "Don't." I tried. I really did. I tried to keep it calm. "Mom, your birthday is 3 weeks before. We're not overlapping. You'll still get your birthday. You'll still get your calls and your posts and whatever you need." Her voice went high. "Whatever I need." Wow. So that's what I am to you. A needy old woman. I didn't say, "You know what? Forget it. If you can't respect me, I won't be there." This became the pattern. Every conversation turned into this weird trial where she was the victim and I was the criminal. Then she brought other people in. First it was my sister, Megan. She texted me, "Megan, Mom's really hurt." Me by what? A date on a calendar. Megan, she feels like you don't value her. Me? I'm getting married. Megan, exactly. It's a big change for her. A big change. Like Rachel is a hurricane and Mom is a fragile historic building. Then my dad called me. My dad almost never calls unless someone is dying or the Wi-Fi is out. He went straight into it. "Hey, bud," he said soft. "Your mom's upset." "I know. Can you just consider moving it to keep the peace?" There it was. The family motto, keep the peace. Translation, give Mom what she wants so she stops making noise. "Dad," I said, "we have contracts." He sighed. "Your mom's not asking for much." I felt something hot in my chest. Not rage, more like finally being awake. Not asking for much. I repeated, "She wants us to move our wedding because it's near her birthday." Dad went quiet. Then she just doesn't want to feel forgotten. Rachel reached over and squeezed my hand so hard it almost hurt. I said she won't be forgotten, but she can't control this. Dad's voice got a little sharper. "You know how she is, Simon." And that's the other family motto. You know how she is. Like it's a weather forecast. Like we're supposed to build our lives around her storms. After that, my mom stopped calling me directly and started performing in the family group chat. She wrote, "Mom, I just want my son to care about his mother's feelings. That's all. Mom, some people get so famous they forget who raised them. Mom, I hope Rachel is happy taking you away from your family." Rachel saw that last line and just stared at my phone. "She's blaming me." "She always does that," I said automatically. Rachel's eyes went sharp. Simon, that's not normal. I wanted to defend my mom out of habit, like a reflex. Like a dog going back to the hand that hits it, because sometimes it also feeds you. But then my mom sent the message that made my stomach drop. Mom, if the date stays, I won't attend and I won't pretend this is okay. I'll be telling people why, Rachel whispered. She's going to sabotage. I told myself she wouldn't because the alternative was admitting my own mother would torch my wedding over attention. I tried one last adult phone call. I went outside, leaned against my car, and dialed her. Mom, I said, please don't make this bigger. She was instantly cold. I'm not making it bigger. You are. We're not moving it. Then you're choosing a party over me. It's not a party. It's my wedding. Exactly. Your wedding. Your world. Your precious Rachel. I'm just an extra. You're not an extra. But you're not the main character either. Silence. Then she said, low and dangerous. Watch your mouth. I exhaled slowly. My hands were shaking like I'd stepped on a landmine and heard the click. I love you, I said. Because I'm stupid, but we're keeping the date. She laughed, not a funny laugh, a cruel one. Fine, don't worry about me. I'll make it easy. And then she hit me with the real punch. If you post anything about your wedding online, I will make sure everyone knows what kind of son you are. I literally just stood there because my job is online, my life is online, my income is online. She wasn't just threatening to skip a ceremony. She was threatening my entire world. I went back inside and told Rachel. Rachel didn't panic. She got quiet, which for her is worse. Then she said, okay, if she wants a public conflict, she can have it. But we're not moving the wedding. I stared at her. You're not scared? Rachel shrugged. I am, but I'm more scared of what happens if we give in now. That night, I opened our wedding budget spreadsheet and just stared at the numbers until my eyes burned. Venue deposit, catering deposit, photographer deposit, DJ deposit, florals. None of it was just money. It was my work, my time, my brand deals, the nights I stayed up editing instead of sleeping. The stupid sponsored posts I did even when I hated them. I looked at my bank app. The wedding account was real. The deposits were real. The date was real. My mom's ego was also very real, and she was about to test how far she could push. The first cancellations didn't come from my mom. They came from my aunt. She texted me 2 weeks before the wedding. Aunt Lisa, hey honey, I'm so sorry. I don't think we can make it. Me? What? Why? Aunt Lisa, your mom said there's drama. That you moved the date to hurt her and that it's unsafe. Unsafe? I actually said it out loud in my kitchen like a question. Unsafe? Rachel looked up from her laptop. What's unsafe? I showed her the message. Rachel's mouth fell open. Is she making up lies? Then my cousin Ken led. Then an old family friend. Then another aunt. It was like watching dominoes fall in slow motion. So I did what any adult does. I checked my email, and there it was. Subject line from our caterer. Urgent guest count confirmation needed, because we were days away from final numbers. We were locked in. Rachel was trying to stay calm, but I could see the stress in her shoulders. She started doing everything extra neatly. That's her tell. When she's anxious, she organizes. I, on the other hand, did what I do when I'm anxious. I refreshed my phone. Then the family group chat exploded. My mom posted a long message at 7:13 a.m. like she'd been drafting it with coffee and spite. Mom, since Simon refuses to move his wedding away for my birthday, I won't be attending. Mom, I won't support disrespect. Mom, and I think other family members should consider whether they want to be part of this, too. Then she added the line that made my stomach flip. Mom, I have told some of you privately what's really been going on, including the financial side. The financial side? Rachel stared at the screen. What financial side? I didn't even know. Then Megan chimed in. Megan, Simon, you could just move it. You're being stubborn. Me? Mom is literally telling people not to come. Megan, she's protecting herself. You've embarrassed her. My dad sent a single message. Dad, we're disappointed. That was it. That was my father's whole contribution. While my mother lit my life on fire, Rachel whispered, "Call her right now." So I did. She answered like she was waiting. "Hello," she said sweetly. "What are you doing?" I asked. She sighed dramatically. "I'm setting boundaries. Something you don't understand. You're telling people not to come. I'm telling people the truth. You don't want the truth out there? Then stop treating me like trash." "What truth, Mom? What are you even saying?" Her voice sharpened. "That you've been throwing money around like you're some big man now. Like your wedding is more important than your own mother. Like you're ashamed of us." Rachel grabbed my phone and put it on speaker without asking. She was done being polite. Rachel said, "Linda, this is Rachel. You're lying to people." My mom didn't miss a beat. "Oh, hi, Rachel. I'm glad you're listening. Maybe now you'll understand what you're doing to this family." Rachel's voice was calm but cold. "We are not moving our wedding date. Then you can have it without us." I said, "Mom, you're ruining this." She laughed again. "No, Simon, you're ruining it. You want to be the main character. Fine, be the main character alone." And then she said the sentence that snapped something in me. "I'm your mother. If I say your wedding is inconvenient, it's inconvenient." I felt my hands stop shaking, like my body finally made a decision. "No," I said, "actually, it's not." There was a pause. I continued, "You don't get to control this. You don't get to threaten people. You don't get to pressure my family." My mom's voice turned icy. "Watch me." Rachel leaned close to the phone. "Linda," she said, "if you keep doing this, we will tell people exactly what you said. We will show receipts." My mom scoffed. "Receipts? You sound ridiculous." And that's when I realized she didn't think I'd stand up to her. She thought I'd fold like always, so I opened the group chat. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. Rachel nodded once like, "Do it." I typed me. "I'm not moving my wedding. Mom's birthday is 3 weeks before. The date has been booked for a year. Deposits are paid. Anyone who wants to come is welcome. Anyone who doesn't, I understand. But please don't spread lies." Mom instantly responded, "Mom, stop manipulating people. You're using money to guilt everyone." That line hit me like a slap because it was pure projection. She was the one using guilt. She was the one weaponizing family. So I did something I never do. I went for facts. I posted screenshots, the venue contract date, the invoice dates, the timeline, not bank info, just proof that this wasn't some last-minute birthday attack. Me. Here's proof the date was booked a year ago. No one planned this around anyone's birthday. The chat went silent for a full minute. Then my aunt typed, "Aunt Lisa, Linda, why are you doing this?" My mom replied, "Mom, because my son has changed. He thinks he's better than us now." And that's when I wrote the message that changed everything. Me. I'm not better than anyone. I'm just done being controlled. If you choose not to come because you can't be the center of attention, that's your choice. But don't punish Rachel and me for it. I sent it. My mom called me immediately like she was trying to yank me off the stage. I didn't answer. Rachel looked at me and said, "Block her." My stomach twisted. My brain screamed, "You can't block your mom." But my hands moved anyway. I blocked her number. Then I blocked her on every app. Then I sat down on my kitchen floor, still holding my phone, and just breathed like I'd been underwater for years and finally surfaced. Rachel sat beside me. "We're still getting married," she said, and I nodded, but my phone kept buzzing with new cancellations. By the end of the day, 47 people had backed out. 47. I opened our seating chart and watched the names disappear. It felt like someone was erasing my life. Rachel took my hand. "We're going to have the best day anyway." I wanted to believe her. I really did. The week of the wedding was brutal. Not because of vendors or logistics. Those were annoying. Sure. Final head counts. Catering confirmations. The florist asking if we still wanted the same table arrangement. But the brutal part was the emotional whiplash. 1 minute I was texting the DJ about the playlist. The next minute I was staring at my phone thinking my own mother tried to cancel my wedding. My dad didn't call. Megan didn't apologize. A couple relatives sent weak messages like, "Sorry, it's complicated." Or, "Your mom is really upset." Like I was the one who started a fire. Rachel's family stepped up hard. Her dad came over with a toolbox because the welcome sign was wobbling. Her mom dropped off trays of pastries because she said, "You two need to eat something." My friends stepped up, too. They didn't ask questions. They just showed up. My best friend Dean said, "So we have more cake per person now." And I almost cried in my car. The day before the wedding, I got an email from the venue. We noticed the head count dropped significantly. "Are you okay?" That's how obvious it was. Even vendors were like, "Sir, are you being haunted?" I was anxious the whole morning of the wedding. I kept checking my phone like my mom could somehow break through the block like a final boss. Rachel was calm in that scary way. She was focused. She looked beautiful and annoyed at the same time. "Today is ours," she said. "No one gets to take it." At the venue, I saw the empty seats and felt the sting again. Not just, "Oh, fewer guests." It was the meaning behind it. People chose fear of my mom over supporting me. But then the music started. Rachel walked in, and something in me unclenched because she was smiling at me like I wasn't a problem to solve, like I was her person, like I was enough. We said our vows. My voice shook, but I got through it. When the officiant said, "You may kiss," everyone cheered so loudly it actually startled me, like they were trying to drown out the absence with noise. And it worked. The reception was honestly insane. Not in a chaotic way, in a "how is this the best night of my life" way. We danced without worrying about who was watching. We ate like we were starving. We laughed. Rachel's friends taught my friends some ridiculous line dance. Dean gave a toast that was mostly jokes. And then he said, "I've never seen Simon look this free." And I had to clear my throat a lot. At one point, I looked around and realized something. The people who stayed were the people who mattered. Near the end of the night, Rachel and I went outside for air. The string lights were glowing. The city noise felt far away. We stood by the side of the building and just breathed. Rachel whispered, "Any regrets?" I thought about my mom. I thought about the 47 canceled RSVPs. I thought about my dad's disappointed message. And then I thought about how I felt right then. Calm, safe, loved. No, I said zero. The next morning, Rachel posted one photo, just one. Us laughing forehead to forehead, sweaty from dancing. I didn't want to post. Not because I was ashamed, because I knew my mom would see it through someone. Rachel said, "Post anyway," so I did. I posted a carousel. Val's first dance cake. Our friends being idiots. Rachel smiling so hard her cheeks looked sore. Caption, "We did it. Best day of my life." No subtweets, no drama, just joy. The post went a little viral. I think because it was real. People love real. And then the messages started. Relatives who had canceled suddenly texted. "You looked so happy." "I'm sorry, I didn't come." "Your mom told me you moved it despite her." I didn't realize she was lying. My favorite message was from Aunt Lisa. "Aunt Lisa, I'm embarrassed. I should have come. I let Linda scare me." Me? Thank you for saying that. I'm not doing this fight anymore. Aunt Lisa, I understand. But she's losing it. She's telling everyone you humiliated her. Of course she was. A friend sent me a screenshot from someone's Facebook. My mom had posted a vague status. Like some children forget their mothers once they get a little attention. Comments were split. Some people were feeding her. Some people were asking questions. Then Rachel got a DM from one of my mom's friends. It said, "I saw the pictures. You look beautiful. I'm sorry she did this." Rachel showed me and said, even her friends know she's wrong. A week later, my dad finally called. I stared at the phone for a long time. Rachel didn't tell me what to do. She just sat right at him and waited. I answered. "Hey." My dad said like we were discussing lawn care. "Hey," I said. He cleared his throat. "Your mother is upset." I almost laughed. "Still, she feels you chose strangers over family." I felt the old anger rise, but it didn't control me this time. I chose my wife. I said that's what marriage is. Dad went quiet. Then he said, smaller. She didn't think you'd go through with it. That sentence made me cold. She thought the boycott would work. I said, Dad didn't deny it. Then he tried one more time. Can you just apologize so we can move on? And in that moment, I saw the whole pattern like a map. Apologize so Mom feels powerful again. Apologize so everyone can pretend the sabotage never happened. Apologize so I go back to being manageable. No, I said I'm not apologizing for getting married. Dad sighed. You're making this permanent. No, I said. She did. And I hung up. My hands weren't shaking. That's how I knew I'd changed. I used to think boundaries were dramatic, like something you did when you hated people. Now I understand boundaries are what you do when you finally love yourself enough to stop bleeding for someone who won't stop cutting. My mom wanted me to believe my wedding was a betrayal. But the truth is simpler. My mom wanted control. She wanted me to bend the way I always had. She wanted the power of knowing she could snap her fingers and rearrange my life. And when I didn't, she tried to punish me publicly. She tried to use family like a weapon. And for a second, it worked. 47 people Ken led. I felt humiliated. I felt small. I felt like a kid again. But then my wedding happened. And it wasn't ruined. It was ours. And that's the part my mom didn't predict. She thought taking people away would make the day empty. Instead, it made the day honest. I look at the photos now, and I don't see missing seats. I see Rachel's face when she realized I wasn't going to fold anymore. I see my friends holding me up without asking for anything in return. I see the exact moment I chose my future over my old fear. My mom still tells her version of the story. I'm sure she always will. In her version, she's the victim of an ungrateful son and a controlling wife. But I'm done living inside her version. Rachel and I have a rule now. We don't negotiate with emotional pressure. If someone wants to love us, they show up. If someone wants to control us, they get distance. And if someone tries to ruin our happiness because it isn't centered on them, they don't get a front row seat to our life. That's the moral, I guess. Sometimes family is just a word people use to demand access. And sometimes the healthiest thing you can say to your own mother is the smallest word that changes everything. No,